building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Down out, I was worth it and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became.
And
Show me what you write.
Like what is it that to me a lot of, and like you said, I mean it's well, they do have to do better, because again it's like it goes because they coming across these females who are putting that energy out there, that energy of what can you do for me? Like if
Right.
you can't do nothing for me, I'm not gonna even give you the time of day. And
Right.
females like me, I don't need you to do nothing for me. I need you to add to me. I need you to add to my
Right.
value. I got me. Like I'm good.
Right.
Like I don't
Right.
need you for nothing. I need, I want someone to,
Right.
you know what I mean? It ain't a need. But then there's some females, it's more of what can you do for me? Like,
Which is such a horrible fucking way to look at things, you guys. You need to be in your independent energy, regardless to who you have on your team, who you
exactly.
have on your side. You need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and hold it down and not be like only looking at a man for what can you give me. I think that is the wrong way to look at anybody coming into your life on a love level.
Mhm.
Unless you're just that person where it's like, no, it's about money. It's a transaction. Well, hey, you in a business. This is a business. It's a transaction. Cha-ching. I'm selling shit over here. Pieces of
Right.
my body for sale.
No, it's true. I agree. I totally agree. That's a whole nother a whole nother thing. Like you in a whole nother business, because it ain't the love business.
No. That whole, and I think there's a lot of course, a lot of songs and shit out there, a lot of, but even like that, I even look at the women, I'm like, you guys are following lyrics of a song that's for entertainment, but these women have whole relationships and shit.
Exactly. These are the
Megan and all them got a whole fucking relationship that they in. Cardi, all of them got fucking relationships. Y'all
right.
out here fucking, trying to chase a bag and
Mhm.
all this shit. And it's like, you look poor as fuck. Like, because you got your hand out. I think that's the ugliest kind of energy from a woman to just be like, what you got for me? What you got for me? I think that's just ugly as hell.
Yeah, I think a lot of women have to realize that, for one, that's entertainment. That is, they're entertaining. That's their job. Because like you said, these women have boyfriends, they have husbands,
Right.
and they are cooking and cleaning. Because even with Cardi, she cooks and she
Right.
cleans and she does all that shit. Yes, she does.
Right.
So saying she don't cook, and she knows she does.
Right. You going off of a song like, oh, I ain't doing no cooking no more. And it's like, wait, what?
So now you tell dude, oh, I don't cook and I don't know. You go ahead. You say some shit like that, or you try to live by those words if you want. You're gonna be one.
Unless it's unless it's just really you. I personally do not come with cooking and cleaning. We not gonna happen. I've done too many years of cooking. We gonna order out. Babe, where you want to fucking order out?
Right. That's different. Like if that's just who you are as a, you're like, I
Right.
to do
Right.
this. But when you
Right.
live the lifestyle of, of a rapper or singer or whatever, even these
Right.
guys are trying to live the rapper lifestyle with the cars and the trips and messing with the Instagram models and
Right. Ugh.
what when you
And
still
it's so touch up and fake though. All of them are touched up and fake. You get them in real life, they do not look a lot. I'm not to say that they don't look good, but a lot of them do a lot of touching up on those pictures. It's unrealistic to live on those means. And it's crazy because I don't know if you've ever seen the podcast No Jumper.
no.
It's a podcast, No Jumper. I think the dude's name is Adam, and he has this one dude that comes on there named Sharp, and which is like an old pimp. He's an old pimp, and they be having all of these fucking Instagram models come on here, and he just be getting at these chicks because their whole thing is like chasing the bag. I'm breaking dudes for bags, and he'd be like, "What are you really doing?" And when you see the conversation, they get very pissed at him, but he's actually like kicking in some game. Like, you're really not doing shit. This motherfucker's paying for an apartment. So what? He paid
Mhm.
for a car. So what? That's little money. You know what I mean? Like, he's talking to him and they'll be pissed off and mad. Like, they're just doing big things and calling themselves millionaires and all this. And I'm like, y'all are stupid as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You stupid as fuck to think that this, what you're doing, and you're not looking at it, you might as well call it what it is. You selling your pussy. I don't care. You selling yourself.
No, it's true, because now with that comes that person having access to you whenever they feel like it.
Right. You
It's
are
like,
for sale.
right, he's paying for your rent in your apartment, but you're alone in that apartment. What about you do need that emotional support? He's not there. Your rent is so, you know.
Right.
So when he wants some pussy, he gonna come through and get some. And honestly, you're gonna give it to him, because that's, again, that's your transactions. That's
Right.
what that's.
Right.
So you think you got one up on him, but you don't have one up on him, because while he's with his wife, or the one that he really does want to be with, the one that does have him emotional, and he's at the park and he's at the museum and he's at the
Right.
whatever, you don't have access to him until he wants to empty his nutsack, basically. I mean,
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
people realize that they are just there for these guys to empty their nutsacks, and they swear they got on the next female, or they got one up on him, or whatever, when all you are is for somebody to empty their shit.
Right.
Like,
And when this dude die, you ain't on the wheel, bitch. Like,
you can't even come to the hospital if his wife or whoever decides for no one
nope.
to know.
Nope.
You know, like, so what do you really gain? Like,
Right.
honestly.
And that's why I was like, I gotta give him props though, because this dude, he goes in on him like that. Like, you talking all this, but you're fucking with all these like basketball players or whatever. And these are girls that have outed a couple singers or whatever they've outed of whoever they fucked with. And some of them I don't know. I think there was one that was talking about Tory Lanez or some fucking body, just whatever, right? And he was like, and these dudes still didn't claim you after you outed them. You know, they
Mhm.
didn't claim you. So what are you really doing? And that, I think that's where a lot of these girls are getting their motto from. They're getting this motto from these Instagram, like, only me fans, or not only me, only fan pages. I'm too old for this shit. But
Right. Like, this shit did not fucking exist when we were on. And like, what the fuck?
I can't say that I wouldn't have had one in my 20s, y'all. I'm gonna be dead ass, okay? In my 20s, I would have had a fucking OnlyFans. I would have. I was just that type of person. I would have fucking did it. But where I'm at now, I kind of look at shit for what it is. You got to look at it for what it is. And a lot of those girls are in their younger years. You're not going to be 20 forever. You're not going to be 30 forever. There's going to be a time where you're going to want real love. And like at some point, after you done sold your body so much and have this entitlement shit, you're going to get to a point where that shit's going to hit your soul. And on that level, it's going to be hard to come back from that. It's going to be hard to come back from that and really get that love.
I think honestly, a lot of them suffer from that emotional shit. That's all a front. They out there and they showing their body and they got that smile on their face. But I'm for sure they probably to sleep every night, because there's no way you can feel good about yourself knowing your worth, knowing how these men are treating you. That's just like a lot of women who are, they get their body done and it's cute, and you're getting your body done for whatever reason. And it's funny because I've seen this somewhere, and it's facts because I've seen it. You get your body done for your dude, or because you think that's the type of, shit that he like, and he cheats on you with a regular bitch.
Right.
Right. What a faux pas. What a ass. You know what I mean? And it's like, honestly, because again, you're just your appearance. He's not feeling you. She got him emotionally.
Right.
And you had physically with your physical body, but she got him on some other shit. So now you wondering like, damn, he's with this bitch and she looked like this. Yeah, because at the end of the day, nothing you do is gonna make a dude want you, but him want you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they kill me with this, getting these BBLs where they putting their lives at risk.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time. I last year was contemplating one and getting some fat sucked out of one area and putting in the other. I had contemplated it because you do go through so much of what the people, society make you feel like is important, make you feel like you know what you're supposed to look like. And it will start to make you feel like, especially as a single woman, it starts to make you feel like, what am I competing with out here? You know what I mean? Who am I competing with out here? And then when I was doing my research about it, like, let me look more into this shit. Let me see what is this really about. And I seen like this is a full fucking surgery. You're gonna be down for months
Yeah.
after this shit. This ain't no just go get some lipo sucked out and keep going. This is, you know, this is some hardcore shit. And it was just like, and then how many girls had died from this shit
Yeah.
of all, you know, the which it can, any surgery, there's a 50-50 chance you may have something go wrong. You may not agree with the surgery to your body. It is what it is, right? And so when I was doing this research, I was like, no, fuck that. I was just like, yeah, no, I'll just naturally lose this weight. And if I need to, if there's too much excess skin or something when I'm really getting down to where I need to be, then I'll think about maybe having like the surgery to take off the excess skin if I need to. Because when you drop a lot of weight,
Yes.
we know that there is a lot of excess skin. I'm in my 40s. Skin don't clap back like it used
Mhm.
to, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a little bit different. So it does make you start to think and kind of, you know, contemplate on a lot of things, but it is sad a lot of women are doing it for the wrong reasons. I think if you're doing
Exactly.
it for you, great. But if you're doing it for everybody else, you're fucking up. You're threatening your life on what you think. And I've
Mhm.
heard so many men talking about these BBLs where they're like, yeah, it's cool, but they're like, yeah, it's cool on videos and it's all this shit that you see.
Mhm.
He was like, but you see that shit on real life. He was like, a lot of these dudes have been like, nah, I've seen some shit that start to look saggy. And one dude was like, my wife has talked about it. He was like, I don't want her to have it done. Can you imagine what she looks like when she gets to her 40s or 50s with this shit?
No, and it's true. Like even and that's even if you make it, because these women are getting it done and 10, 15 years later, they're realizing now it's poisoning their body and now
Right.
get it removed, and even like the after effects, the
Right.
scarring, this
Right.
even okay, now you have all this scarring and it's like to me, you're still not gonna feel sexy. It's still gonna be
No.
if
Yep.
it's not yourself to you yourself feel like you a BBL, a lift, for this, for that. It all starts with you because again, and even with these guys, they like you said, it's for the okay, taking pictures, doing this, but at the end of the day, they going home to a regular, natural as chick.
Right. Right.
That's who got their heart. Like honestly, okay, your body maybe, and that's another thing. Like physically, he
Right.
feeling physically, but
Oh
emotionally
yeah.
somebody else got his heart.
Right.
And to me, as a woman, me personally, I guess I can only talk to me. I rather have his heart than for him to lust over me. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Hands down.
right? That comes with that because when you have somebody's heart, you're gonna be the most beautiful person in their
Right.
eyes, regardless. So
Right.
what you look like.
Right.
That's just
Right.
like with us on with the men. You're like, I mean, to the next woman, he may not be cute, he may not be a cutie, but when we love a man, he's the
Hmm.
handsome it's man in our eyes.
Right. But men too though. Men actually don't trip off of a lot of shit that women trip off of. Women trip more on their body than men do. Men kind of when unless you're talking about a fucking kid that's in their fucking 20s, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Once a man starts getting into them 30s and definitely into the 40s, he knows what a woman body looks like. And
Exactly.
he's not tripping off like your stomach, your thighs, and all of that shit. He's not fucking giving a fuck. It's women that put all this stress that we gotta look perfect. Why? Because women, and even like when I think about it, the reason there's some of the pre-programming I have is because there's this thing of as you get older, you got a less value as an older woman, and so there's a lot of these older women that are always competing with these younger women. It's like, nah, bitch, you ain't 20 no more. I'm not 20. I ain't trying to look like I'm 20. I'm in my 40s. I'm proud to be in this in this level.
No, you're right. I mean, and it's a whole different. It's like to me, yeah, the 20-year-olds, y'all can have it, y'all can keep it. I'm not
Right.
trying to up with you. I'm not trying to have your body. I'm happy. And like you said, even with the guys, these guys when they're in their 30s, they 40, even with their image, what they embrace it. They put
Right.
on they, they don't give a fuck. They out, you know what I mean? Like when
Right.
they're, they may hit the gym every now and then because they do,
Right.
same shit
Right.
we, you know what I mean? They have self-esteem issues. They have,
Yep.
just like us. But again, it don't go to the point where they're like, you know what, I gotta go get this gut removed because I gotta look good for these ladies out here. Hell no. They not gonna die. You know what I mean? Like
No.
chicks are actually putting their lives. Like
Right.
girls are going, young girls. This I seen a story. She was 19, went and got a,
Mhm.
like, what? You're 19, ma? Like your body is probably banging, and you
Right.
went and she died on the table.
Right. Right.
Crazy, like for what?
It's true though. Some people just, I've all through my life, I've gone through not feeling enough in my life. That's one of the things I've had to work through my whole life. Even when I was younger and I was skinny, I was still taller than most of the girls around me and I was thicker than most of the girls around me. So even like with my mom, who grew up in an era of where it was really thin, and even in my era, we know when we look back, thin was a thing. Plump was not a thing. Thick girls weren't a thing when I was a kid.
Mhm.
It was you had it really thin. Ass wasn't even a thing. Shit, the thinner the better. That's how they were promoting it. So growing up with a mom who came from that age also, and as a kid, even when I got to 12, I had t-shirts over me because
Yep,
I
I
was
do the same
I was
thing.
so body conscious. And when I look back, I'm like, where the fuck was the fat? And I'm still trying to realize, like, where the
Yeah,
fuck was you fat? You were not fat. But having that complex and not feeling enough. And then when you do get at a certain weight and you put on weight, it's the same thing. You start feeling like, oh shit, I'm still there's this concept of something's wrong. But that goes to the healing. You do got to love yourself, right? You got to get to that point where you love yourself, because if you love yourself, whoever comes in is going to love you just the way you are. They're not going to have no problems with that. But if you know you're a certain type, like me, I know I would not date someone who is hella in the gym, because that motherfucker is just gonna be talking about this gym and it's gonna get on my nerves, because I like to be lazy. Like, I need someone. We
mhm.
gotta be lazy together sometimes. You can't just be like, did you work out today? I'm gonna be like, no, I didn't.
No, you're right. And I think that goes back to what we were saying before. It's like these women want these guys to have this and have that and have this car and have this penthouse and have this
Right,
great job. And it's like, do you have those things?
right,
Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, how can, to me, if you did, it wouldn't even matter.
right.
Like, what are you doing? You're trying to live through someone else.
Mm-hmm. You want someone to come save you. That's what you want. You want someone to come save you and take away from your everyday life, and you go live in luxury. But that's not realistic. How many
Exactly.
people are gonna go and live the luxurious life unless you're making your own bread? I suggest you, like, just dial it back down. There's just too many women out here competing for them sugar daddies out here. Okay, there's too many women.
To me, they in fantasy. They in fantasy.
Yeah,
And a lot of them is not, they can't accept the reality, and the reality is at the end of the day, the same energy you put out there is the energy you're gonna, like what you had just said now with loving yourself. When you
hmm,
love yourself and you big on you, the man that you come across, he's gonna feed off of that energy, and
right,
he's big on you. He's gonna love the fact that you love you. You know what
right,
I mean? A man doesn't want a woman who's always putting herself down or self-conscious, or
right,
because he's gonna do it. I mean, in all reality, he's gonna do it. It may not happen. He may not be doing it intentionally, but it's
right,
gonna come off,
right.
but you're big on you and he sees that confidence in you. He's gonna match your energy. That's the type of person you're gonna come
Right.
across.
You ever see that couple? It's a couple. I know you came across them on TikTok, where it's a white chick and a white dude, and she's kind of short, chubby. She wears glasses, and he's kind of stocky. He's really fit, and
He has a beard.
he has a beard.
And they
And
always,
they
I
always
guess, something to say about them because they're,
uh-huh.
yes, I seen
'Cause
it.
they say, like, they don't match, like,
Mm,
they like, "Why is he with her?" And I
mm,
remember coming across one of her videos, and she was just speaking it's sad how many comments are honest about how, like, the girls that get in his DMs,
mm.
these little, like, skinny chicks and all this are in his DMs like, "Oh, you shouldn't be with her, you should be with me."
Wow.
Based on what? How you look?
Right.
This man is with they're married. This is his wife. You know what I mean? So what if she's chubby? So what? Apparently he likes it. And it's just sad how many women, of course, I go back to women because y'all trifling like that. You will down talk that woman and say that they're not together. The
Mm.
second you got people where society says doesn't match, all of a sudden it's, oh, that person must be rich. Oh, that must be the sugar daddy. Oh, that must be, you know what I mean? That must be
He's
some
only just for whatever, you know,
right,
really love her because she's overweight and he's fit. So yeah, he got to be using her. It got to be something. Her credit
right,
good. So it must be something. He can't
oh,
just genuinely love her, and it's obvious
right,
he does. They're married. I mean, it's obvious like who what her body weight don't have nothing to do with who she is. And it's sad. Like that right there is so bad that women have the balls to go into that woman's DM and say those things to her
right,
and to him. Like, oh,
right,
you should be with me because I'm this and I'm that. Like,
right.
oh wow, that's just so.
Yeah. And I mean, he communicates with her, so he shows her the messages and shit like that. And I think it's disrespectful, one, to ever come at somebody's fucking husband or wife.
Mhm.
I don't give a fuck who you are or what you feel about somebody's husband or somebody's wife. I think people, I don't care what age or generation you come from, you should have fucking respect on a marriage. That's just personally how I feel. But coming out of that, I feel like you get to that point, and it's just like that whole downing somebody based on what you think is I think that comes from a hurt person. There's a lot of hurt people just trying to hurt other people with that bullshit.
That is the true saying. Like hurt people, basically.
Right. Because you
Like,
took the time to get in somebody's inbox to down their wife.
right.
What
Exactly.
kind of time do you have on your fucking hands to do shit like that? Like the disrespect is is real. I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became.